Hi guys, today I'm going to be working on a few little digital drawings. My sister and I have been toying around with making a video game here for a while now, and she's the brains behind the operation, the one with all of the computer knowledge and capabilities. I've been working on some sort of game design and gameplay, but also I'm going to be working on doing some digital drawings. The game assets she needs me to put together so that she has them for when she is doing her programming work. I've been messing around lately just trying to figure out what level of detail we want in the drawings, whether we want to do higher resolution to where it doesn't look pixelated, or have very pixelated pictures. I've decided to just kind of try them out for a little while. This kind of more pixelated style, see if I like it, see if I like drawing this style, or if I'm really more satisfied when I'm working in sort of a higher resolution format. So right now, these are this grid. I don't know if you can see the grid on here, but each of these little grid squares is 64 by 64 pixels. And that's kind of where I'm hanging out at the moment. I had originally done some drawings up at 512, which is really much more detailed drawing. But my sister and I were talking today about how we do enjoy games that have that more nostalgic, pixelated feel, but I didn't want to go to such a high level of pixelation that some games have. Not liking the shape of that one. So I kind of tried this compromise of doing still pixelated, but not quite as pixelated as some of the games you think of in that genre. So right now I'm just playing around. I think one aspect of it is going to be a little bit of a cozy RPG game, and while sort of farming and growing isn't going to be a big aspect of the game, there is going to be some aspect of that in the game, and my sister wants to work on sort of the programming behind sort of growing a crop over a season, sort of planting seeds, having it grow, and then harvest it. And so I'm sort of putting together this rough, seeds, what they might look like in sort of a inventory pocket, and then what would they look like on the ground, like when you've planted them. What does the plant look like over time as it grows? So just going to do some really basic black pixel sketches here, and Procreate doesn't actually have a pixel brush. I had to kind of create or I did create this pixel brush using sort of a square shape that I just drew and imported for the brush shape. And then the hardest part for me to figure out, I had to do some Googling on, was how to make it so that, you know, it doesn't sort of grayscale in neighboring pixels. But I did find my answer on Google somewhere and got this working the way I wanted it to. So for now, I'm just going to kind of have these little seeds here, and then we're going to draw some little sprouts growing. Right now I'm just drawing these in black. This is going to be just sort of the outline of what the picture is going to look like for the time being. I'll get in a little more to the nitty-gritty. Really loving that. Get more into the nitty-gritty of making sure that the pixels have clean transitions and things here in a little bit. And then as I work, once I get the shape all set, the shapes that I like, the black background, then I'll use sort of the color masking function on Procreate to then work color into this on another layer. Because it's pixelated, you know, a lot of the cool things that you can do with Procreate I will be using for a lot of these little initial pictures. But let's see, in this one, we want it to be sort of, so we're going to do seed and inventory, vegetable and inventory, seed planted, and then sort of 3. I might want more stages than this if this actually were to turn into the game, but I'm sure there's going to be a million iterations of all of this as time goes by. Anyway, so doing sort of these black outlines. I really debated whether to move to a different sort of software where it's much more designed for sort of the pixelated drawings. But I'm going to be doing quite a few animations and things, and I really like how Procreate does that. So I decided to stick with this. I think what will be interesting is trying to put together the tile sets for the maps and things. Anyway, for today, just want to get these kind of backgrounds going. The basic shape that I'm relatively happy with. I'm going to go back in, perfect the shape a little bit. I kind of zoom out so you see what you're going to be getting when it turns into a video game. And then after I get the shapes looking how I want, so here, this one is going to be our sort of harvested, and I guess this seems to be turning into kind of a carrot picture, so kind of making a tuber carrot, something of some sort. So get the shapes, pretty happy with it. Then I can start color masking and playing with color, which will be fun. Getting in some shading and lighting and things that I like on the next layer. But for today, for this video, I think I'll just stick with drawing the foods themselves. I'm trying to decide if I want to, or sorry, not drawing the food themselves. Babbling now, but drawing just the shape and the black background and getting the pixels how I like. Trying to decide if I want to have this greenery at the top of the carrot or I don't know if this is a carrot, but or if I want to sort of make like it already been cut off. Kind of like the idea of having a foliage at the top. I think we might need to adjust the scale of it in order to make this much this. All right, so very basic backgrounds for these. I'm going to go in a little closer and just do a little nitpicky changing of things with the make the pixels flow the way I prefer. It's tough sometimes to get it to curve. Oops, I hate it when I accidentally erase with my side of my hand, setting it down on the screen. But getting that curve to flow exactly the way you want is sometimes difficult. I don't really want this kind of end there. Making my seed too fat. Actually, I kind of like the shape of that. This one I like a little better, but like that. Just getting a little nitpicky about the curves. I like that a little better. I need to do a little learning. I'm sure that there are many brilliant people out there who teach about how to shape and shade and things in pixel art. Should take some time to learn from them. I'm sure over the next, I like that better, the next several years as we work on this little pet project a little bit more, I will do that. This one seed seemed too skinny compared to the others. Didn't seem to flow right. It's a little better. I think I'm going to go with that for the shapes of the first one. I'm going to work on the ones on the ground, which I imagine just being smaller. Oops. I'm accidentally deleting things. The perfectionist in me has a bit of a hard time with the pixelated format, because I'm just not sure you ever feel like the picture looks perfect, but maybe that's true with literally any drawing. What am I doing here? I'm going too far awry. If any of you out there are brilliant pixel artists and you have tips and tricks for me as I drive myself mentally insane trying to do this, feel free to drop knowledge in the comments, or if you know of any really great pixel drawing courses, always open to suggestions. This sort of wild hair that my sister and I have started more seriously pursuing here lately. It's definitely out of our wheelhouse. Well, more out of my wheelhouse than out of her wheelhouse, since she has actually worked in computer programming and whatnot. I, on the other hand, have a very not at all artistic job, so this is a little more outside of my wheelhouse. All right, I think perhaps that I've yammered on enough for today. I'm going to finish working on these outlines. Not really outlines, but the shapes of my drawings here. And next video, I will show you how I'm going to go about using the color masking to, this is supposed to be my little sprout. Probably shouldn't get too crazy. Show you how I'm going to use the color masking to color and highlight and kind of build these out a little more. All right, see you on the flip side.